Pingandy Hills, eh? Oh, the track's like this, winding all the way through, snake bending through. Just down in the background's the gum line of the Pingandy Creek there. Okay, but fairly stony and gutters to get down to that, so we're bypassing that at the moment. You can see these stony hills, this just goes on and on and on forever. We're lucky the track, it's not too bad in this section, fairly swept, so not too many sharp stones on the road. That's one thing we're watching with the camels. But anyway, beautiful country, well worth having a look. Pingandy, we'll keep going anyway. Got to get to that Ashburton. Walk up, boys, nice and steady. Well, this is a really interesting tree. I know this tree is scratchy wattle. Okay, you see the little curls and the bark in it here like that. Now this tree grows all the way up into the Kimberley country, up there north of Broome, and up there in the sand, underneath is rock. This tree loves the rock. That's why we see it all through these creeks around here, because it's nice rocky country. Now this one in parts of Australia, it's a very hard wood and it makes for good clapsticks, traditional music instruments, where they carve out the white part of it, and inside is a really nice blood red wood. Now that part there gets really good pinging sounds for the music. But even as I look just through there a little bit, there's a little water hole here. Okay, so being rocky country, must have been from some rains up here, hasn't been able to soak through the ground. So scratchy wattle in the rock, and also a nice water hole. A little bit of a treat out here. This will give us the opportunity to top up our buckets. It's pretty good clear water here. And this is like this amazing slate country in here. The colours in this rock are amazing. From blues to reds to yellows and all the way down to this nice little water hole. Good chance to freshen up. It's pretty clear. Now one thing about out here, it's so stony, this place is not frequented by animals. There's not much for them to eat out here. We're coming into the spinifex country. That's why this water hole is kept pretty well untouched. Now, it wouldn't be here for too long, but the rock has enabled this to stay exactly where it is, and because of the hills, it's not getting full sunlight on it all day enough to evaporate it. It's nice and cool, nice and fresh, so we'll top our buckets up and the camels can have a drink tonight. That's a beautiful little oasis right here on the Pingandy Creek itself. Very stony creek bed, this one, not much sand in it. Got a beautiful water hole. You can see these big dominant gum trees coming out. It's always a good sign when you get the big patch of gum trees. Possibility that you got some water in the creek. Now we found that water before a bit earlier this morning, so there's a good chance this creek was going to have some, so it's well worth the investigation to come down. Lots of dragonflies on the water. We've got things living in the water. It's a very, very drinkable water hole, this one. So water's not really our hassle out here. It's more the feed for the camels and finding them a good camp for the night. You'd love to get in there for a little dip, wouldn't you, big fella? Anyway, the beautiful oasis, Pingandy Creek. Well, there's one tough plant Real pretty here with the flowers, but growing out amongst all these stones. It's a very rare one because we haven't seen many, but there's just a couple in this little patch here. Pretty interesting. I'm not sure what it is, but there's like spiky scalers on it. Lou's gone for a sniff. He's just been attacked by an ant. It's pretty funny. All the ants are in here, so there must be some kind of something thereafter, whether it's a bit of nectar out of it or something. But anyway, a flowering plant in the middle of some of the harshest country I've ever seen. Coming along the track there, see this line in the background of the gum trees, and then all of a sudden we see a big cattle pad coming in this way, so it's always worth an investigation. So we're going to stop here, out of the stones, real powdery stuff. Now the camels love the powder, they can roll in it, nice soft ground. The old fella's getting a little bit footsore in the back there walking on the stones, so we're going to give him a day off today and maybe even a day off tomorrow. We've got good feed here, powdered ground, we've got water, so that's all comes together as a classic camel camp. So this is one indicator of the signs here. You can see the track going in here. Rightio, when you start seeing them funnel in, they might go that way, you cross them, then they go that way like a Y. You know they're heading into something. So this is one thing we look for out there. Freshly broken ground up there, heading in that way, and in the background you can see the big gum trees. Good indicator that there's water. Look through there's our water. It's pretty hidden, but track's heading in. Got a big job now carting these back up. Well, that's a bit of a tragedy. Although the water's clear and there's something living in it, it's all salt. Now, camels can handle salt water, but it's going to make them thirsty. So it might be that we have to push on to the Ashburton and try and find some fresh water on that track. Unbelievable. Right out here in the middle of Australia, come across a waterhole and it's all salt. The cattle tracks come down here. The cattle are actually drinking this water. You can see the line of salt. They're hardy cattle out here. I don't know if I'm going to bother getting this for the camels, because I know, like I said, they can drink it, but it's going to make them thirstier. We've still got a little bit of water on board for them. But like I said, I'm thinking I'm better off pushing on to the Ashburton. We're getting low on water ourselves, so we're going to hope there's a good waterhole there. I'd say we're going to get water. That's a major river system. This one not so much, there's water in this. So I'm going to suggest that we're going to get water on the Ashburton, but we need to get there, we need to get there pretty quick. Within the next couple of days, we're really going to start needing to find that water. So we're only about maybe 15 k's off the Ashburton now. So Even though I promised the camels I found a good spot with trees and water, I don't think we're going to stop here. Joys of camel driving. You can see the cattle tracks walking in for this waterhole. Unreal. Must be some of the hardiest cattle you'll ever meet, this mob. Anyway. Sorry there, big fella. They get excited when the old buckets are coming out. They're obviously a little bit thirsty, but not desperately thirsty. Okay, they had some good green pick last night, and the weather's cooling down, so they don't necessarily need it, even though they want it. It's something about a camel. Anyway, like I said, we've got to push on now and go and find that beautiful fresh water. I mean, like I said, camels can handle that salt, but we need some water too, so that water's not going to do us any good. We've got to keep moving, mate. All right. Now, obviously, when that creek does fill up, it's a sign of human occupation. We've got a few very simple knives. The nice little flat rock here. See a couple of scrape marks in it. There's a nice blade along there. Now, sometimes if you hold these, you can feel exactly, there's a nice groove at the back where the finger will sit, thumb onto there. It's a perfect hold. There's your blade for cutting. So they're quite simple tools, these ones. Obviously it's not a frequented spot being that salt water, but in good times it was certainly visited. Now I'd say when we get to the Ashburton, be more of a permanent camps you'd find there, more permanent fresh water. But certainly this time, in good times, is a place well visited by the traditional people. Well worth investigating when you get close to the water holes, especially back up in the clearer areas. Soft sand. Okay, it's fairly stony around here. Soft sand's pretty rare. So, another little bit of broken piece there. Another nice big flat. You can feel the smoothness in this rock here, and here's a beauty. Look at that one. That's a good shape. It's got the nice edge, the strong ridge on the back, and often that little flat piece there. Could have been a spear tip. Beautiful rock. It's a broken piece, but these are often, you can feel the smooth edges. Okay, now possibly for grinding, usually you'll find a dish and you'll see that nice smooth edge there for seeds and things like that. Plenty of seeds off these wattles here, and they used to use them for making different kinds of bread. So I'd say that there is what they call a top stone. There are many tools around here, many old ones. It's a great spot. It'd probably be pretty widespread. But anyway, we'll continue to have a little search. We've got the sand hill here, creek line over there, and basically where we found those old stones. Now that tells me this would be a winter camp, because any of that south wind that blows up is fairly protected there. So often when you get to sort of the northwest side of the dunes and things like that, or on the northern side, protection from the south winds, usually the winter camp. Summer camp, you want to be in the breeze, so they're often on the other side. It's another way, sort of reading the maps and reading the country. Anyway, we're just going to have a look on top of the dune up here, see what else we can find. And here you go, up on top of the dunes, the nice big flat rocks up here. You can see the little chip marks here and stuff in it. Now, this is a great place where they usually camp. They're up on the high part, looking down, the old tools over here, the creeks, the water hole there. Reason why this is good, it's soft. It's a good place to sleep. They've got a good peripheral around of their country, so nothing can come in and disturb them, attack them or anything like that. So this is always a good place to check, up on top of the sand dunes. Down there, Mudgy. Well, there we go. It's like the dog has struck again. Baits are used out here, pretty common in this country. Come across another one of these, so poor old fella. But that's the life out here on the cattle stations. These dogs, they take cattle, I guess. So that's why they use them, but yeah, harsh way to go. The old Meekatharra Shire now. Coming to the end of the Pingandy track. Probably just around 10 k's to go to the end of this. We're certainly going to be stoked to be off all these stones. But anyway, we're not going to Meekatharra anyway, but it is the Shire. We're heading up towards Parabadoo next. We've got to find our way across that Ashburton. Hopefully we can pick that shortcut. If we don't, it's going to add about another 150 kilometres to our journey. So we'll be keeping our eye out for that one. But anyway, thank you. Glad to be there. Right boys, nice and steady. All up.